Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and today I'm recapping Game 51 of the regular season. Astros lose to the Diamondbacks 6-3. We got out hit 11-7, and we might be taking Thanos' advice a little bit too seriously because I would really like our record to not be basically dead even for the past couple weeks. We fall below 500 again, which makes me incredibly sad to say. This is a great team. This is a loaded roster. If you look at the talent, this on paper should be maybe the second or third best team in the AL, and we are not playing like that. And I say this because I love them, but we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. We are probably going to make them, but man, if we do make the playoffs, which it's looking like, this could be a very embarrassing 3-game playoff against whoever we play. And if we make it past that, it could be an even more embarrassing ALDS. But I will cross that bridge when we get there. I was going to say bridge and road at the same time. I'm leaving that in so you can see that I'm an idiot. Starting with the starting pitching, Zack Greinke went 5 innings. He gave up 3 runs. Zack Greinke gave up 1 bad pitch all night. And that 1 bad pitch just happened to be to the guy who's been seeing the ball incredible the past couple days, and hit it to the second deck. Cole Calhoun, who had hit 3 home runs in the 3 games previous to this, Zack Greinke gave him. I don't know if this is what it was, but in my eyes, it was sort of like a cheap ball. I don't know if he was just thinking he wouldn't get it since he isn't a great player, but he's been good the past couple days, and he did not miss it. He hit it for a 3-run home run, and it didn't end Zack Greinke's night at the time, but he would get yanked after that inning. His final stat line tonight: no walks, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts. He looked good. His control was there, and so I mentioned this in a video a couple days ago, where the pitch, it wasn't a bad pitch. It wasn't like it was off target. It was just a bad idea. And that's sort of what I thought of tonight when Zack Greinke gave up the 3-run home run. It wasn't a bad pitch. It didn't look like he was missing his spots. It was just a bad idea. After Zack Greinke left, we brought in Luis Garcia. He went an inning and a third. He gave up 2 runs, and he struck out 2. What happened with Luis Garcia, and this is on Dusty Baker, I want to say, he got an inning out of his young pitcher. And that is the moment where you should say, okay, thank you, my fine sir. You gave us an inning. Some of your very best work. Thank you, and goodbye. And that is it. That is what we should have done. We should not have brought Luis Garcia. Shut up, Siri. We should not have brought Luis Garcia back out for a second inning of work. That did not work. Hence, he gave up 2 runs. Then we brought in, not Zach Taylor, Blake Taylor. Sorry, I was thinking of football. Zack Taylor, Bengals coach. Anyway, brought in Blake Taylor. He closes that inning out. That's when we should say, thank you, Blake Taylor. You did a good job. But we didn't. We brought him back out. And what does he do? He gives up a home run. And again, why are you doing this with Blake Taylor? That's what I really have to ask. He is a young stud. He's been really good so far this year. And you're approaching the playoffs, like now we're 9 games out from them, and you say, hey, Blake Taylor, you're just coming off the injured list. You've been gone for a couple weeks. How about you try to give us more than an inning of work? And I understand what you're saying is, Weston, he only pitched an inning. Yeah, but he went out there, he got the 2 outs, and then he sat down. That doesn't bode well. Sending him back out after that concerns me just straight up. Just because, like, even if he got out of that inning, like, say he doesn't give up the home run, he gets the 3 outs in that inning, goes inning and 2/3, and that's his night. I'm still angry because I'm saying, hey, you brought this guy out who's been good for us, and you're risking potentially him re-hurting himself, like re-injuring himself, and going out with the playoffs upon us. Like, I don't like that. And then, Dusty Baker, since he didn't learn his lesson from Garcia or Taylor, he brings in Scrub to finish Taylor's inning. And then in the 9th, he says, hey, Andre, go back out there, bud. Like, why? No. Andre Scrub, if you look at ERA, if you look at how he's been this year, he is our best reliever. He might be our best pitcher, like in a vacuum where you're just looking at earned run average, he is our best pitcher. And you send him out there for a second inning. Did you not learn your lesson from Garcia? Did you not learn your lesson from Taylor? Send him back out there. It didn't hurt us. Scrub would end his night with a hit, 1 2/3 and 2 strikeouts. But did you not learn your lesson? You're sending Scrub back out there? Like, it just... Dusty Baker terrifies me. My biggest threat, the biggest threat in my eyes to the Astros over the next year and a half, like for the rest of this season and next year, it's not the Yankees, it's not the Rays, not the White Sox, not the Athletics, it's Dusty Baker. We have him renewed. We renewed him for next year, so he's going to be our manager for the rest of this year and next year. And we are treading water as it is this year. And I know you're going to say, well, Weston, we've been injured, and it's a weird year. And I understand that. But even if you take out the weirdness of this year, and you just look at the pitching staff and the managerial duties, I still don't give him a pass because he's made bad decisions. And you could say it's because we don't have good decisions to pick from in the bullpen, but my gripe is more of you're bringing in not good rookies instead of the good rookies to close out some innings. Again, that isn't tonight. Or you're letting people go too long, not letting them go enough, or like this, trying to send them out for more work than you really should be putting on them. And it concerns me a great deal for next year. And if it's similar to this year and we go, I don't think we will, but like, humor me and say we went 81-81 next year, that is not our last year to compete, because I feel we can compete for a while longer, especially with the core members we have of this team. But that's the last year we're going to compete with this, like a carbon copy of this team. Because after next year, like after this year, like all of our outfield will be up. And then after next year, I believe it's Verlander, Greinke, Joe Smith, Correa. And then debatably on what we do with Yuli, potentially Yuli, again up for contract. And that doesn't bode well. Like, this is the last 2 years we're going to have the big group, the boys, together. And Dusty Baker's managing scares me. The offense tonight, I'm going to complain about the offense now. In the first inning, bases loaded, no outs. We score a run, and we only score that run because the pitcher yanked one to the backstop. Like, are you kidding? 3, like, no outs, 3 on, bases juiced. You score a run on a pass ball. That's depressing. That's very, like, that is a perfect situation. That is the situation you dream up. To put Bregman, Tucker, and Yuli in with potentially all of them going to bat with the bases loaded and none of them driving a run. And I understand that runs batted in, they're not a good statistic. I don't love that when judging a player's, like, overall season. But you send those 3 up to the plate and they get nothing going. They all 3 strike out. Like, that is just... It's face palm. Like, I don't know what else to say. In the third inning, Tucker scored a RBI double, scoring Altuve. And then in the 5th, Springer hit a home run. Springer's home run, by the way. Whew! Up on the train tracks. Absolute missile. Springer's starting to see the ball better, which gives me hope going into the playoffs if we can potentially get back past the first round. But the Astros, we've trotted out the past 4 games against the Rangers and now the Diamondbacks. Those Astros are not going far in the playoffs. And I hate saying that because I love the Astros and I want to go a bit in the playoffs. Like, I want to be able to talk about baseball into October. But these Astros, they might not survive 2 games at the best of 3. So yeah, that's my thoughts for the evening. It was not a great game. It was pretty sloppy. Christian Javier gets the start tomorrow. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Stros.